This is Movietone. Leslie Mitchell reporting. A Tower of Babel at Blackpool. Conjecture and confusion following the news on the very eve of the Conservative conference of the Prime Minister's operation. Then, from the hospital, Lord Hume brought the biggest bombshell of all, that Mr Macmillan would be resigning. So began all the speculation as to who should succeed him. Was the Chancellor, Mr Maudling, too young at 46? President Kennedy is a few months younger. Lord Hailsham's decision to renounce his peerage stimulated his chances for the leadership. Responsibility, of course, had already fallen on the other main contender, Mr Butler, now acting Prime Minister. But along with all the conjecture was a deep sympathy and admiration for Harold Macmillan himself. His action demonstrates once again a selfless concern for his party and his country. In office since 1957, he has served longer than any premier this century. His work with the American executive to strengthen the Atlantic alliance, like his handling of the Suez aftermath, has always been an object lesson in wise diplomacy. What about that other alliance, the Commonwealth? Mac was the first British Prime Minister in office to visit India, and since that tour in '58, he's been to every Commonwealth country except Malaya. He has left his mark on Africa. Remember his Wind of Change speech. This was an informal moment during his Ghana trip in 1960. Mac, the unflappable. His constant search for world peace took him to Moscow, where discussions with Mr Khrushchev did so much to pave the way for the 1960 summit meeting. The wrecking of this Paris meeting by Mr K must have been a bitter disappointment. But provocation of that kind never deflected him from his purpose.
We remain unshaken in our conviction that all outstanding international questions should be settled not by the use or threat of force, but by peaceful means through negotiation.
Mac has always been a supporter of the United Nations.
The United Nations is the best, indeed the only, organization which we have available.
Supporting a firm stand in the Congo, he provoked this interruption from Mr K.
A large number. Well, I'd like it translated if it was
Unflappable again. We can sympathize with him for the common market rebuff, but this year's signing of the Test Ban Treaty was the culmination of his tireless efforts for peace over nearly 7 years. Conservatives at the Blackpool conference could only hope that something of the spirit which guided Harold Macmillan would also inspire his successor. Not merely a party matter, the decision as to who that would be couldn't come too soon.